When you think of world-changing historical figures, you might picture kings, warriors, or inventors. But what if some of history's most unexpected influencers had four legs, whiskers, and a tendency to knock things off tables? That's right, we're talking about cats. While often seen as aloof companions or internet darlings today, cats have actually played surprising roles throughout human history. From sacred symbols in ancient civilizations to wartime morale boosters, cats have left paw prints across the pages of time. Today on Mega Fact Attack, we'll uncover the feline facts that helped shape the world in ways you never imagined. Let's start with a civilization that arguably respected cats more than any other, ancient Egypt. Here, cats weren't just pets, they were divine beings. Egyptians associated felines with the goddess Bastet, who symbolized home, fertility, and protection. Bastet was often depicted as a lioness or a woman with the head of a domestic cat. Killing a cat, even by accident, was considered a grave crime and often punishable by death. Cats were so revered that families would mourn their pet's death by shaving their eyebrows. In some households, cats were even mummified and buried with their owners to accompany them into the afterlife. This religious and cultural respect led to cats being protected by law and even exported to neighboring countries, which spread their popularity throughout the Mediterranean. Cats have also served a practical purpose. They protected grain supplies from rats and mice. This made them not just spiritual guardians, but essential workers in an agriculturally dependent society. Fast forward a few thousand years to the age of exploration, and cats found a new role: sailor's sidekick. Seafaring creatures, including the Egyptians, Phoenicians, Vikings, and later the British Navy, brought cats aboard ships for one key reason: pest control. Rodents weren't just annoying, they could destroy food supplies, damage ship ropes, and spread diseases like the plague. Cats were efficient hunters and helped ensure the ship remained free of unwanted stowaways. Their presence also brought comfort to sailors during long, often perilous voyages. One particularly famous seafaring cat was Unsinkable Sam, a black and white cat said to have survived the sinking of not one, not two, but 3 different ships during World War II. Starting on the German battleship Bismarck, then making his way to the British HMS Cossack, and finally HMS Ark Royal, Sam earned his nickname and the admiration of sailors everywhere. Ironically, one of the darkest chapters in European history, the Black Death, was made worse because of a misunderstanding about cats. In the 14th century, the bubonic plague swept through Europe, killing an estimated 25 million people. During this time, the church associated cats, particularly black ones, with witchcraft and the devil. As a result, mass killings of cats were carried out across Europe. Unfortunately, this led to a spike in rat population, which carried the fleas responsible for spreading the plague. With fewer natural predators, rats flourished, and the disease spread faster. Some historians believe that had cats not been persecuted, the plague might not have been quite as devastating. It was a tragic example of how superstition overruled science, and how cats paid the ultimate price for it. While cats were maligned in parts of medieval Europe, they found a more welcoming home in Islamic culture. The Prophet Muhammad is said to have been fond of cats, and many hadiths reference his affection for them. One famous story tells of Muhammad cutting off a sleeve of his robe rather than disturbing his cat, Muezza, who was sleeping on it. In Islamic tradition, cats are admired for their cleanliness, a quality highly valued in the Muslim households. They were often allowed in mosques and homes, and it was common for scholars and poets to keep them as companions. Cats were also appreciated for their pest control abilities, particularly in libraries and food storage areas, where they helped protect books and provisions. To this day, you'll find cats lounging in courtyards, cafes, and even places of worship across many Islamic countries, carrying on a centuries-old legacy of respect. In Renaissance Europe, cats, especially black ones, become further entangled in myths and folklore. They were believed to be familiars of witches, creatures that aided in casting spells and communing with spirits. This association led to horrific consequences during the witch hunts of the 16th and 17th centuries, where many cats were killed alongside their accused owners. This connection wasn't random. Cats are nocturnal, mysterious, and often appear aloof or independent, traits that made them seem otherworldly. The fear of witches and the unknown was strong, and unfortunately, cats bore the brunt of that fear. Despite their dark reputation during this period, cats continued to be kept in many households, especially in rural areas, where their practical value in keeping rodents at bay outweighed superstition. As society progressed, so did the image of cats. During the Enlightenment and into the Victorian era, cats started to appear more positively in art and literature. Writers like Charles Baudelaire and Edgar Allan Poe wrote odes and eerie tales involving cats, celebrating their beauty and mystery. In Japan, the maneki-neko, or beckoning cat, became a popular symbol of good fortune and prosperity. You've likely seen these figurines in restaurants and shops, with one paw raised as if waving. This tradition began in the 17th century and continues to be a cherished symbol in modern Japanese culture. In France, the cat became a symbol of elegance and leisure, often portrayed in paintings lounging on a velvet cushion or curled beside a fire. This shift in perspective laid the groundwork for the cat's eventual rise to the domestic royalty in the modern world. Cats didn't retire after the age of sail. They continued their service during the World Wars. In the trenches of World War I and the camps of World War II, cats provided more than pest control. They offered emotional support to soldiers under extreme stress. Photos from these eras show soldiers cradling kittens, sometimes even adopting them as unofficial mascots. Even in politics, cats have made their mark. Winston Churchill was famously fond of cats and often held meetings with his beloved pet Nelson nearby. Abraham Lincoln also adored cats, so much so that Mary Todd Lincoln once said, "Cats are his hobby." During his presidency, he reportedly rescued 3 stray kittens while visiting General Grant. In modern times, cats have served as chief mousers at government buildings in the UK, including 10 Downing Street. These feline staffers aren't just ceremonial. They're tasked with keeping rodent populations under control and even make headlines from time to time. The transition from working cat to beloved pet became more pronounced in the 20th century. With industrialization and the rise of the middle class, pets became more accessible to people from all walks of life. Cats, with their relatively low maintenance need and quiet demeanor, became ideal companions for urban dwellers. The invention of commercial cat food and later kitty litter in the 1940s revolutionized pet ownership. No longer dependent on access to outdoor spaces, cats could now thrive entirely indoors. This made them more popular than ever. Today, cats are among the most popular pets in the world. In the US alone, there are over 60 million pet cats. Their images dominate social media, their quirky behavior inspires memes, and their mysterious charm continues to captivate us just as it did thousands of years ago. From godlike statues in ancient Egypt to internet stardom today, cats have walked silently alongside humanity for over 9,000 years. They've battled rats on ships, comforted soldiers in trenches, and sparked myths that led to both reverence and fear. But one thing has remained constant: their quiet influence on our lives and cultures. Like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more facts, and drop a comment telling us what your cat would be known for in the history books. Until next time, keep your curiosity sharp and your catnip stocked. History has claws.